Oh yeah, thanks you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to have me on here.
I think it's pretty cool what you guys are doing.
Very good questions and what a lot of research.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you guys asking me to be a part of this.
That was too cool, bro. And I was between shifts. I'm between shifts right now. I think I'm gonna be between shifts the rest of my life.
Welcome back to the Between Shifts podcast. Our guest today is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, former professional fighter, and owner of Raul Castillo Martial Arts. He trains everyone from kids to pro athletes like Bellator's Adam Piccolotti. Please welcome Raul Castillo.
Yeah. Woo.
Got it.
And he's a busy guy, so we're happy he came in today.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
He had to ditch a class, but we really appreciate it.
Yeah. And you do a lot for this community that you, I assume, grew up in, right?
Yeah, totally.
Born and raised Half Moon Bay?
100%.
Nice.
Yeah, born and raised, grew up, school from Fairlawn View, Wilkinson School a little bit, all the way up to high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know Wilkinson. So I thought Wilkinson School was for like kids that were dyslexic, but I guess it's just a normal school.
No,
right?
It was actually a private school.
Okay. Yeah, I just had no idea.
Oh, dude, I was thinking Fairlawn for some reason. I was tripping.
Yeah, so I actually went to like Wilkinson when I was like a little guy. And then in second grade, I went to Fairlawn. And then to Cunha in high school.
All the way up through the high school?
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Oh, yeah. Shout out 805. They gave us free beer. Had to make a point. Raul was gassing us up earlier.
Yeah. The marketing mastermind.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, you got to catch it out when we give it to you,
Yeah.
I like seeing that side of somebody, because I've only heard stories about you and fighting and just training and teaching people how to defend themselves, but immediately when you walked in, it was just about the business stuff. That's super cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Shows you have a different side to you.
Yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
last couple of years, I've just been really focused on the business, after going from athlete to being like dad, now into being my, early 40s. You have to really figure out what the business aspect of things are and dial things in, because when you're 20s, money hits one way, but when you're 30s, it hits the other way, and when you're 40s, it really hits. And you have to think about, all right, switch gears. What's the next 20 years going to look like?
Yeah. Definitely.
It's not point and click anymore. It's all calculated.
Yeah, it has to be.
Very good.
You got to be organized.
Yeah.
Well, and running a small business is not easy. Like it's,
Yeah, really what kicked me into gear was like that COVID thing where it shut us down because I couldn't do anything. I had a gym, I had clients that, stopped, and we had some people who were helping us out, but it was really, all right, the key word of that year was pivot. How am I going to pivot? How am I going to figure out how to make money? How am I going to figure out how to, not just be in this comfortable, consistent place and really learn about what business is about, like really dig deep into it and, remind myself like the roots of where I came from.
Yeah. Especially with your business, it probably was cut short with being like a contact sport.
100%.
Right? So it was, you really had to pivot.
Yeah, we were really lucky to work with the Big Wave Project. They let us go out there. The Barbers, Stephen Barber's one of my good friends, and his dad hooked it up and let us go out there and teach my karate class and my jiu-jitsu class. We put some mats out there and got the kids together, and that's what kept us going.
Oh, that's down there in the harbor?
Yeah, down there in the harbor.
Cool.
That's
so
awesome.
it was like real martial arts. The kids were doing push-ups in like the and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
We were going on runs in the hills.
Yeah.
Just like when I was like, all right, guys, this is what real karate is about. And all those kids stayed. Those are like some of my like most promising kids right now, and kids that even like became president of Cunha and things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
do you have kids stick with you for, like a long time?
Yeah, I have kids that started since they were like 5 years old and they've already graduated high school.
Wow.
A good example of that is Aaron Landon.
Okay.
He's a graduate here from Half Moon Bay High School. He's two-time league champion, I believe, and the wrestling team. His name's on the wall.
Yeah.
I call them little legends because they, when you go in the wrestling room, there's who's their names on the wall, but those guys like threw down for seasons and they're the varsity wrestlers.
You got your name on the wall?
No, I do not. So I have a lot of respect and admiration, and that's one of the things I've always wanted to have, when I was growing up, because I didn't focus on wrestling. I didn't focus on, being an athlete, a traditional athlete. I was more of a martial artist growing up, like the Karate Kid and, Yeah, we'll get into all that. I'm sure you guys have a million questions.
Well, and a little bit of backstory to the little legends that you're talking about, like the names on the wall. He's talking about the mat room at the high school, at Half Moon Bay High School, because if you're a wrestling champion, you get your name on the wall?
Yeah, if you're a league champion, I believe your name goes on the wall. And if you're a CCS champion, it goes up there too. Just like
orange, though.
Yeah, it's bold.
But it's super cool. You can go into the mat room and you can trace names all the way back to, I think, 70s, 80s, somewhere as far back as, like, you can find Brain Hoffman's name on the wall like 3 times. But super cool. Anyways, getting back into it. You talked about getting into martial arts young, I believe. Were you 5?
Yeah, I was actually like 4 years old. My grandma brought me into like the Parks and Recs, and that was like the very intro, because all I was doing was watching Ninja Turtles and playing and like beating things up and like finding little weapons and slashing on the couch. And I gotta get this kid out of here. I gotta get this kid out doing something. So I started doing karate, and the instructor there was like, he needs to go do like real karate. And there was where the UPS store is right now, there was Fred Villari Studios, and that was one of the OG karate studios, and that's where we first started. And I started with Willie, you know Willie Hilliard, right?
Yeah. He's my football coach.
Yeah, so his brother Kirk started with me when we were little kids, and we always look at our picture and we were growing up, hey, that's you. Anyway,
that's awesome.
Oh, I'm just now connecting these dots. I think Kirk comes to basketball open gyms on Mondays and Wednesdays with me. I had no idea that was Willie Hilliard's brother. Now tonight I'm gonna be like, dude, Kirk, what's up?
Yeah, I like to connect dots like that in the community. But yeah, we like grew up and training karate like that, and really got into like the competitive circuit from like 5 years old all the way up to like 11. I kept going and going, and I was like the first black belt from, in the karate program from Half Moon Bay. That karate program started in like 1988, and I had started training in 1980, like the beginning of 89.
Wow.
But a lot of people had already been training, from the community there for a little while. And like from the mat, like they brought the karate back here from Half Moon Bay.
Was that the
Fred Villari Studios?
Okay, but that was the first martial art that you got into?
Yeah, the karate.
And then what did you get into after that?
I just started training, so karate all the way up until I was like 11, and then I was like, oh man, I just want to play with my friends. So I started playing hockey.
Oh, damn.
A whole bunch. Yeah. And I got into like ice hockey, and we did all the airport hockey stuff. And, you'll ask all the guys, like the original, like I remember when the league had like knee-high boards, like boards, and then we're out there all the time.
Yeah,
and I think Brian McNamara was one of the ones who kind of organized that.
Yeah,
nice.
Was that pre Mike Durso?
No, hey, Mike Durso too. Yeah.
Did you have to shoot with
Yeah, Joey is actually one of my best friends.
No way. Okay,
so I grew up with Joey. Yeah, Joey and Jimmer and all the guys.
Yeah, Jesus Jimmy.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you have to? Because Durso had the wooden stick.
Oh my gosh!
So I got some. Play with Betsy.
I got some highs and lows, and Mike definitely pulled me out of like some of my lulls when I was in like my 12, 13-year-olds, video game stage. Yeah. Where I was like, all right, screw sports, screw everything. I'm just going to sit down and be the best at video games. And then I'm like, all right, you got to get back into hockey, and just cracked the whip on me.
Yeah.
And then after that, it got into jiu-jitsu. So yeah, I got into jiu-jitsu. My friend kicked my ass, and I was like, I got to learn this shit. Yeah.
Did you ever get in any good hockey fights?
Oh yeah. That was like part of it. That was part of the fun. Like you have all your gear on and you get in the scrum,
Yeah.
That was like half the time. Oh man, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I know some teachers from the high school who were on my team, and they loved scrapping too. Like loved it.
Dude, we were at the Sharks game the other night, and we were just like, "Come on!" They got into a scrap, or like not even. They didn't fight. They didn't drop the gloves, but they got into it pretty good. And we're like, "Come on!" Hadn't seen one at a hockey event yet.
Yeah, it was exciting in the time, and that kind of lured me into that whole UFC thing. It's like, oh, there's fights in UFC. Oh, it's aggressive. It's like, a lot of aggression. Like I always wanted to win things. I was very competitive, so I always wanted to be the best or learn win. And growing up like that, I was like 50-time national champion. Every karate tournament, every weekend, my mom was like, "We're going. Friday is this tournament. Saturday is this tournament. Sunday is this tournament." I'm like, all right, let's go. Coach wants you to do this. It's like, all right. I hated the forms, but I loved the sparring and I loved the fighting aspect of everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And when you were growing up, what was the UFC like at that time?
It was like UFC #1.
Yeah. So it was like you fight
no
2
rules.
fights a night.
3.
Tournament status.
Tournament style, 3 fights a night, the whole deal.
That's so crazy, dude.
Do you think the whole hockey or karate, that what was your favorite memory of growing up when it comes to?
Oh man, there's depends. There's a bunch of memories. Yeah. Honestly, I remember being with my friends, playing hockey, being together with the boys. As a kid, that was probably the funnest memory. Yeah. But as a man, remembering the glory of being the champion as a little kid and having that chip on your shoulder, there can be only one, Yeah. And when you're on the playground and you're competitive, if you're really competitive and you play serious sports and you want to win, you know how it feels to want to be the one, and you know what it takes to, and how much sacrifice you put into being that guy.
Yeah.
It's not just, I want to be the one. It's no, dude, I worked my ass off to be this guy.
Yeah.
So
at what point in your martial arts career did it kind of turn into less about, obviously the fighting aspect is still there, but when does it start to get into the point of where you're learning how to keep your breath and not lose, just getting into other aspects of the sport, I guess I could say?
That probably didn't come until I was a black belt.
Yeah.
Really slowing things down, having a lot more control, less ego, already knowing that I had, people were, when you're a black belt, you're so far away from everybody else, the amount of training. I'm sure you guys can relate to that when you see people riding bikes, right? If we went running on the trail, you'll see how far away I am, riding downhill. Even though I love riding my bike and that's one of my favorite hobbies, I know 100% I don't have the skill, technique, and the abilities that you guys have because I don't spend that much time doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So I have respect. One of the things is game recognized game, I know exactly what's one of the old proverbs? Once you know the way, you see it in all things. Okay. Right. So I know the way, and I know when someone else knows the way. Yeah. Right. And maybe not my craft, but I know you guys know the way in your guys' craft. At least you're in that level, in that zone, where you have that level of comfortability and control. For sure. That only takes time. It's time though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's only a seasoned someone who been in deep waters, right?
So I'm starting to see a theme. You're kind of a team of one kind of guy, right?
I wear a lot of hats.
Okay.
I wear a lot of hats. So my parents run the fish trap. So backstory, my parents run Barber's Fish Trap, and I grew up in the fish trap. My dad's run the fish trap since I can remember. And I remember my first job was at the fish trap. And I remember thinking that, all right, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to be the chef. My dad's the guy. He's the boss. He's going to make me get the best job. And I showed up with one of my best friends, and I convinced him to work with me one summer. I think we were 12 or something. And he's like, all right, go clean the dumpster. My friend looked at me, but that taught me a big lesson, because that's something that is necessary in order to operate a successful business. Because if the garbage is full, dishes are dirty, who's cooking the food? Where's the garbage going? Where's the mess? Everything is important.
Yeah.
Some takes more skill than others, which requires more education in certain places, but everything's valuable. And that's where he taught me very, very young. And I carry that with me, to this day.
Also, side note, Barbara's Fish Trap, Barbara would have bought it from my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother was Hazel.
Yeah.
That's funny. you were talking. I was
locals. Yeah. We can go even deeper and deeper in all that history about the coast side and the fish trap and Hazels and see, generations connect. Mm-hmm. Right. That's how awesome this community is. All of a sudden it just comes right back around. Hey, my family, your family. Holy cow, the community. Boom.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. It's fun to do.
It's cool.
We're gonna try to do a prohibition piece, like a little video project, and just research the prohibition era stuff in town.
Right.
Been talking about
Moss Beach's story.
Yeah, just the distillery, the Miramar Beach restaurant.
Yeah.
Just all over.
Yeah, I mean the harbor in general is just a hot spot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
There used to be
Don't
a
imagine.
bar. There's stories of Al Capone living in San Gregorio before he spent his time at Alcatraz.
No.
And we're like, fuck, let's look into that.
Dude, exactly. There's so much
it
rich
out.
history that you don't know about. Just gotta do your history. You gotta do your homework.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, growing up, your parents must have been busy running that restaurant. Did you say your grandma was watching you mostly earlier?
Yeah, my grandma was also helping running the restaurant. So it was like a family affair, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's rotating in on the business, and we're all at home. We're working, or we're at school, and then I'm doing my extracurriculars. In karate 100%. If I'm at school, karate, home, family, dinner. Wake up, breakfast, work.
Yeah.
It's just like systems.
So is your mom Barbara?
No, my godmother is Barbara.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, my
Awesome.
grandmother and Barbara are like best friends growing up.
Awesome.
Or coming up in the coastlines.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, so I was just curious. It sounded like you spent a lot of time with your grandma then.
Oh, I grew up with my grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, so my grandma's the one who she's the one who helped keep the fish trap alive in the beginning. Her first check would keep the lights on,
Wow.
and she's the one who's my family's the backbone of the fish trap, making sure everything ran from the grassroots, ground up.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then she, from what it sounds like, was the one that was like, you got to go do karate and started taking you.
Yeah, my grandma's old school German, from the old country, grew up hard, didn't have food certain times.
Yeah.
During the war, shelter in place, you got to be careful, bombs and shit. So I remember growing up with a lot of war stories and a lot of gratitude, understanding about gratitude early on, and value of food. It's crazy. You got to make sure you eat your food all the time. I never waste food.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that I see it. I teach it in my class. I value those things that I really just teach a lot of the stuff that my grandma taught me when I was those are just hardcore family values, right? But those are traditional, also martial arts values that you want, your kids to have, and you want yourself to have growing up as a man and as an adult.
Yeah,
I was just an adult, right?
Yeah.
My grandpa would do the same thing. We would be at the Atlantis Casino in Reno when I was little, and he'd get me steak and eggs for breakfast, and I wouldn't eat one egg, and he'd be like, you gotta eat that. I'd be come on, man.
6 grams of protein.
You scarf it down.
Yeah, but you never know. Hard times. You never know when your next meal is going to be, and you got to understand that every scrap counts. And you have to have that little empathy in the world too, right? People are starving out there, and I hate to see. I'm part of that problem that's wasting so hard. I have that strong. It's part of the community. People are hungry. If I'm, not valuing my food and someone else is dying for that food, what kind of person am I?
I'm sure you saw that too, coming into COVID too, just with the business, not necessarily food wise, but just trying to get through that whole experience. And you're well, I'm struggling, but at least I can do that. I can't imagine how many, there's so many businesses that shut down.
100%. Yeah. And the resilience, the finding the way. The other thing is I prepare myself I have a lot of contingency plans because of martial arts. You're always having backup plans. What if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? What if this, it's what if that move doesn't work? What if you're always thinking steps ahead. Yeah. So having contingency plans just in case, my uncle's kind of a prepper. So he had that when I was a little kid, got that mindset on me. I was 12. What was it? We were 12 years old. Y2K was going to happen. Yeah. The world, I don't know if you guys, I was 12 and me and my friend were out there filling up, water bags on our deck because we thought we were going to run out of water. My uncle's "Darn, we're gonna run out of water. The whole world's coming to an end." And I'm "Oh shit,
bring it in."
He's
we got a can of beans.
My friend, hey, he's got all the dry food and all this.
Does he have a bunker?
Oh, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, bro's got a bunker.
Undisclosed.
It's pretty sick, honestly.
Dude, he's ready. He's freaking ready. But yeah,
bunker parties would be pretty fun.
Underground farmstead, dude.
Yeah. Shit.
So when did jiu-jitsu come into play? Because you did karate hardcore for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good story.
When did jiu-jitsu come into play?
So, people used to tease me my whole life. You're the Karate Kid and this and that. And like, you're the champion. Always poking me, like just testing me. And I'm like, my coach, dude, can I just fucking beat this guy down so bad? I just want to like engage. Can I engage? I'm just getting bullied at school my whole life. And like, all right. One day I'm like, my friend, we were like 14 and a half years old, and we're at my other friend's house. A lot of girls are over there, and he's poking the bear. And it's like, hey, dude, let's get down. I've been training jiu-jitsu. And, I'm like way bigger than him at the time. I'm like 180, 190. And he's like 135, like a small guy. And I'm like picking him up and throwing him, and he just latches on my back and like chokes me out in front of all our friends and my friend, like this girl I like, and the girl I like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And then I just like emptied my cup at that time. Like, all right, dude, when are you gonna take me? And he already started driving before me. He was already going to the city, and I took off my black belt. I like, this is not that. It was great for discipline. It was great for me learning how structure and learning details and having that behind my belt. And that was amazing. But application wise, I need to learn what he just did to me.
Yeah.
How did this small guy, defeat someone with a lifetime worth of training, right?
Yeah.
And just like smoke me. How did he just do that?
Yeah. So this might be a dumb question, but so if you go from karate, if you're black belt in karate and you're going to start Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, do you have to strip your black belt in karate? Yeah.
It's a totally different sport. It's like, when you're hella good at football, are you going to be good at basketball?
Yeah.
Ask him.
Some people are. And for me, it didn't take long. It didn't take very long, and I learned it really quick.
Yeah, and it was the discipline too.
Yeah,
well, I asked, that's a huge decision for you. And how old were you at this time?
Like 15.
That's a fucking huge decision to strip your belt, your black belt in karate, and go after Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like that's. If you've been that long,
but when you have an ego that big, and you get
testosterone's just running.
Yeah, and you're just like, but at the same time, karate martial arts is an intelligent art. You want to know how that person defeated you, right? What did they use to defeat me? Mm-hmm. At least that's how my logic is.
Yeah.
If you did something to me that worked, and I felt that I was superior than you in that moment, how did that happen? Why did that happen? I got to break this down.
Yeah.
And I got to figure it out and then I want some of that.
Yeah.
And see, that kind of relates back into the aspect of when martial arts got, like, you kind of took a step back from the actual fighting portion and tried to learn something more. Like I used it as breathing in a fight, but like that, you're kind of taking a step back and analyzing the fight and like, how did he get me? Instead of just being like, and going for it.
Yeah. Then competing at a high level for your whole life, you're thinking, okay, I'm a black belt in karate. I've defeated a lot of other black belts in karate multiple times, in national championships, regional champion, world champion, whatever. And how did I do that? How did I get to that level? You got to break things down. You have to understand its timing, reflex, moments. What are those things? And karate is completely different than jiu-jitsu. It complements jiu-jitsu, if anything, because karate is a striking art. Jiu-jitsu is a grappling art, right? And Brazilian jiu-jitsu, what you learn in the city or when you learn in the Gracie Academy, or when you first think of Brazilian jiu-jitsu sport, it's uniform, it's a sport, and it's a form of submission wrestling.
Definitely.
So karate, you're not allowed to wrestle.
Yeah.
It's one strike, one kill. My stance is so strong,
So did you have to... I'm assuming there was no jiu-jitsu on the coast at the time.
Nothing.
So you had to go to San Francisco then?
Yeah. My first coach was Kurt Osiander and Ralph Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and Ralph Gracie in San Francisco on Valencia. And there's a couple OGs that are from town that have their belts. I think Brian Overfelt used to train over at actually, no, he does. He's an OG blue belt from Kurt. And Half from back in the day.
Damn.
You never said anything about
that.
Yeah, Brian's blue belt, dude.
Damn.
Sleeper, dude.
Yeah, dude. Don't sleep on Brian, dude. Choke you, bro.
We just thought he was a tennis guy. Yeah, dude.
No, but there's some OGs that trained in jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, oh, you guys train OG people are older than I am,
That's sick.
Damn.
And that's how I first got in, really got into this is sick. And like, then you really like starting to feel yourself as a teenager, and you're training with like dudes, and all of a sudden you're like submitting the guys in the class, and you're 16, 17, and you're just choking out 30-year-old dudes, some lawyers and some athletes. And well, I was serious about it, right? Yeah. I got into really good shape. I was running all the time. I was thinking like an athlete, right? I wasn't thinking just like a jiu-jitsu guy, or just like, I was thinking like an athlete.
Yeah.
And I remember like running and push-ups and core work and all that stuff was important for performance. Even when I was young, we didn't have YouTube the same way you guys have YouTube right now. If I want to learn something, I had to go find somebody to mentor me.
Yeah.
You couldn't just ask Siri or Google or AI or you can't figure out in a video. It's not. You're going to fail a bunch. You're going to find the source, and you're going to try to show up as much as you can.
So even finding the jiu-jitsu, like the place to go in the city, if your friend hadn't gone there, you probably wouldn't have been able to find it.
I didn't even know what jiu-jitsu really was until my friend. I knew jiu-jitsu was because we watched UFC in my friend's dad's garage when he was painting like motorcycles and stuff. Yeah. He was a biker, right?
Yeah. Nice.
And he was like painting like flames on all these guys' bikes and stuff. And he's like watching the UFC. He's like, take Royce Gracie's just like holding chemo uppercut stuff like that by the hair. Like no holds barred, bloody Valley Tudo. I'm like, this is real. But I'm like thinking, because my coach used to be in karate, he's like a special forces guy. Okay. So he used to tell us like, how are you gonna kill this guy? How are you gonna, I'm like to 11, like, all right, coach, let me get a pencil and stab him in the neck, So as a black belt on that level, half of my job was preparedness and actually how to subdue or, actually kill, basically finalize a move, because I'm 10. Yeah. He basically told me, like, you're not going to do anything against an adult. You're going to punch him. What are you going to do? You're going to break your hand. You need to get like a knife, and these are the arteries. This is how you strike them. This is the self-defense that you need to have. But as a black belt, as a kid, you're preparing your sir. Yes, sir. You're like, it's militant. Yeah. You're like a little soldier at that point. Straight up, like a little death soldier. That's how he coached me. I was like a little death soldier from the 80s, and that's all I was doing. And watching Van Damme and Chuck Norris and, Karate Kid.
Yeah, real macho, dude.
Dude, all that stuff. But it was like the other stuff, like Double Impact from Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah. Bloodsport.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So, kind of another question about the whole stripping of your black belt going to another martial art. So when you hear of UFC fighters like, let's just say Nate Diaz, he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Do you typically, like, because obviously he has other disciplines and other martial arts. How does he go about, like, do they do the other training first and they're like, okay, I'm going to make my run at this UFC thing. I'm going to, like, do this. I don't even know how to ask the question. But
right. So I actually know Nate and Nick and all those guys, and I compete against them both. They beat me, Nick beat me once early on, and then I ended up beating both those guys later in my career.
Wow.
And I know their training, I know their coaches, I know their style, I know the way they go. And those guys are like, the way they were raised was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu all the way. Cesar Gracie is like, Gracie style, represent jiu-jitsu. You're going to represent jiu-jitsu in the way that you're going to fight anybody and prove that jiu-jitsu is the best. And you're going to box, you're going to do all the other stuff, but you're going to choke them. You know what I mean? If something else happens, whatever, dude, but your main thing is jiu-jitsu. And you're going to represent the flag of jiu-jitsu, and you're going to be like that guy. And Nick Diaz was the best for a long time. Dude, Nate Diaz choked Connor.
Yeah.
Right?
So he beat him in the first fight, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's what Nate's known for, like his triangle and his armbar and all that stuff. And I actually competed against Nate here in Half Moon Bay.
Oh, no shit.
You know that, yeah.
In Half Moon Bay?
In Half Moon Bay in the high school.
Damn.
Oh, no
2005, we were both purple belts. Yeah.
That's epic.
That's wild. Dude. Damn.
You represented.
Yeah. Were they big names back then?
Their team was really big names. Nick was actually the biggest name in the time because he was fighting in Pride, and he fought Gomi, and he was like the Pride champion, and he was like the UFC contender and all those guys.
So you knew what was coming when they showed up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Jake Shields, all those guys.
Yeah. Is there a lot of animosity, or like, do you have a feeling, like a weird feeling when certain people show up on your turf? Or
at that time, maybe because I was still young in the game.
Testosterone.
That was still that was like,
how old were you?
I mean, like 19 or 20 when I 21.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like in that time, oh yeah, dude, it's like dojo storms and like you represent and you like, it was so like, yeah, for real. You'd show up to other people's gyms only if you knew you were going to tap everybody in the gym.
Yeah.
Like I would only go visit and that was the way I was taught. Like you're only going to go visit if you know you're going to like beat everybody there.
Yeah. So there was no like buddy between other gyms. There's no playing.
No, it's just I'm the one.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna go train with you, and there's that way you could be better than me.
Yeah.
That's not the way competition works, right?
Yeah.
I only are gonna go to you because I know you're better than me, and I need to figure out what you're doing so I can beat you the next time I fight you.
Yeah.
That's real.
So growing up, having that, like you keep talking about how you had a bigger ego when you were younger. When did you learn to kind of keep that under wraps
or did you?
Or yeah,
it's yeah, you know, we all grow up and we tame it a little bit differently, or we direct it in a different way. I feel like I'm as humble as I possibly can be. I'm kind of under the radar, knowing that like I like into my circle. I'll like rap all day with everybody, but
yeah,
you know, I know who I am.
Yeah,
you know, I'm very confident in who I am. The ego's different. I've just got a lot of experience in life. I know what works. I know it doesn't work. I know what hurt me. I know it doesn't hurt me. I know it helps me. I know my body. I try to live a very healthy lifestyle and be as positive as it can possibly be. So the ego, it's like everyone has. It's always going to be there. I still want to fight all the time. I still want to be there. I still want to like get back in the ring. I live vicariously with the guys, but it's definitely not the same as it used to be.
Do you think your ego changed from being in you to being to like towards people you've trained now?
You know what? Clarity. I just got some. When my son was born, that's when I really like, all right, it's not about me.
Yeah.
So that just hit me right there. So talking about me, oh, shame my ego. You know, but really it's like, boom. Oh yeah. I have a family. Yeah. I'm not in that zone anymore.
Moving on.
When my son was born, like probably like about 30 years old.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, all right, dude, you got to like really step back a little bit from yourself and start focusing in on your family and making money and, you know, or not making money, saving your money, not being so like, oh, I'm going to go out to dinner. I'm going to go eat your coffee every morning. Yeah. Start making the coffee, let's get some real discipline going. You know, like because that's where real gains can happen. Yeah, in the kitchen.
The discipline doesn't. Yeah, the discipline and ego doesn't go away. It just transforms, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like kind of going back to your earlier days in training, what's something that you learned early on that you still kind of teach kids now, that you took with you and now you teach kids?
Consistency is more. Consistency is more important than anything else, because I'm regular dude, average guy. I'm not genetic. I'm average, a little bit maybe above, hopefully, but like the average man, I'll race somebody. I'll be in the middle of the pack. We'll lift. I'll be like a little bit above. I can work to get better. Yeah. Right. But the reason why I was able to excel is because I just showed up more than everybody else. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, what's a black belt? What's a black belt? And a kid told me this a long time ago. One of the kids, Raul, I know what a black belt is. It's just a white belt that never gave up. And it's like, that's the realest thing. It's for real. Because I trained with a lot of people. I looked right and left, no one's there. Right and left, no one's there. Even now, like everyone's still retired. I'm still there. Yeah. You know, I don't stop. Yeah. I'm diesel. Yeah. You know, I just
finally. That's it. Do you think there was a time where you realized that you weren't genetically gifted and you were like, this is, you know what, I'm just going head first all in? Or was it because like you said when you were 16, you were bigger than the other kids anyway?
That was only because I was fat.
Yeah.
Because I was like jacked. That's because I was just fucked. Yeah. I was a munchy guy. Like I'm better than you at eating. Yeah.
Family in the food industry, right?
Yeah. Like I bet a bunch of guys out there can relate to that. You're like, all right, I'm gonna win something. I'm gonna win at the buffet. Yeah. I gotta be the best at something. Yeah. You know, all my friends were better at like hockey than I was. I was already behind the curve on that, and I'd already lock in on video games. No one could beat me at Street Fighter. I challenge anybody. But then I was like, this isn't the way. You know, it's not the way. You want to be, you want to be cool. You want to, you want your friends to stop poking at you. You want to be able to keep up. I think it's just you want to keep up.
Yeah.
And that's what really turned me like to that next place. I was, I want to keep up with these guys.
Yeah.
I want to be able to hang.
Yeah.
And when was that like, I mean, when you wanted to hang, I mean, you started doing the jiu-jitsu, and then when did the actual competing in like UFC style matches come about?
So we had like a fight night in Half Moon Bay.
Okay.
In like 2004.
Was that the boxing fundraiser?
It was not. It was actually, that was different.
Oh, okay.
That was actually different. This is like a whole like, it was like a pancration style before. I want to say it was kind of underground, but it was at the high school.
Like,
I don't know how, we had a boxing ring in the high school, and we had a fight night at the high school.
That's sick.
It was actually really cool. And this was before, I think, it was because it was more, there was no winners. It was more of a demonstration.
okay.
But it was a fight.
It was a fight.
It
Someone's
was-
always going to win. Yeah.
Yeah, bro rolls up in a monster, like Monster energy drink.
Yeah.
He had a monster truck with Monster energy drink all over it, sponsored. Come to fight me, Like
Just another kid at the high school, or
no, some guy that Monster like because
Oh, no
they were
way.
like marketing Monster at the time, and they're trying to get some guy to come out and beat me down, because I was like 20 and this guy's like 28 years old and like MMA fighter, already like supposed to be one of the guys.
Yeah.
And then this time MMA is still pretty new, in the areas. It was like king of the. It was no. I think it just became legal in California in that time, like 2000. Oh, I gotta look that up. Hey, where's that Joe Rogan dude in the side?
Yeah.
he normally has his laptop. J-Mo!
Is that it's MMA was illegal?
Yeah, in California,
Really?
like pre 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger was the one who got it passed.
Damn.
Laws passed through.
Really?
Yeah, when he was the governor.
December of 05.
There you go.
Covenator. I
Yeah,
caught
December
that.
of
That's good.
December of 05. So yeah, it would have been probably 05, 06, somewhere in there, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Did you end up beating up the monster guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you have to be ready. If you're gonna throw down, you better be ready.
You're gonna pull up in a monster truck. Should definitely.
Monster. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then in my mind, I'm like, man, if I beat this guy, that's gonna be my truck.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you should have gone to monster. Dude.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
So I saw your professional record. Was it 7 no losses, 1 split decision? Is that
No,
what it
I
was?
lost one.
Lost one.
Yeah, I lost one. And I didn't realize it in the time, but I ended up herniating a disc in my back.
Oh shit.
And I'm gonna just salve it out and just go fight this guy. And like, it was just like, when I got there, I got in, and it was one of those things where like, oh dude, my body's not working.
Damn.
And I didn't want to get knocked out. I didn't want to, so I just like kind of kept the distance. But that was like a pivotal moment where I should have, if I listened to my body and didn't fight that time, took some time off, that was probably the time where I learned the most about fighting, was that one loss.
Dang.
And I ended up fighting again, but that wasn't until later. And that was like to like prove myself that I can, I'm recovered, I can fight again. But at that time I was more focused on the business and the community stuff and my family. And that time I was just training Adam and like, here, Adam, here you go.
Yeah.
And poured all my like passion into him.
Well, and
Were you still doing professional fights after you had your kid?
I did one more.
Okay.
Yeah, I did one more. I fought in the Dragon House main event. And that was more to, like I said, a psychological thing where I'm like, all right, I know I can still fight. I know I can do all this stuff. And I did. I ended up winning that fight. But it taught me that, all right, I had a good run. I want to be able to train my whole life. I want to be able to go run with my kid. I want to be able to go fishing. I want to be able to go do all the stuff as a dad that, I really value. Yeah. So I want to be present and doing all those things. I don't want to be beat up and damaged and chase my dream. That time is kind of like, I had my time.
Yeah.
And I went all in, and I had really good matches. I got to fight for Strikeforce and Showtime, and, I got to travel and train with the best guys and the best teams. And I won like a lot of world championships and jiu-jitsu and stuff. And it's like, all right, that was great in that time. But the biggest thing for me is I can stay present. I can do, all the stuff I want to do. And if I wasn't able to go run with my kid, pick him up, charge, like legit charge with my kid and show him that what it looks like to be strong, not what it was in my heyday, what it was to be strong. You can watch it in a movie. Is infinitely more valuable for me in this moment than going back and winning a championship and potentially be broken.
Yeah. Was that your worst injury you ever had?
Yeah, that was like my second worst injury, I think.
What was the worst one?
I think because it's still there, is my bicep tear.
Okay.
So
that's a tough one.
That's a bicep tear.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the back's worse.
Back's got to be worse.
Back's way worse.
Yeah. Was your bicep tear like dead center on it?
They usually tear at your joint, you know.
This was the career ender, actually. This was the moment I knew it was over.
Dang.
Because I tried to make a run back at it, and I was in really good shape, and I just ego.
Yeah.
A guy challenged me in the gym, and I just got out of working out. I didn't stretch or warm up or anything, and I throw one shitty ass hook, and then my arm was like just over, and just went boom.
Yeah.
And I remember because they were doing like a little documentary thing for AKA, because I was at AKA, American Kickboxing Academy. Mm-hmm. And guys in the, and I'd have to sign one of those things. And guys in the back in my face, and I'm just like this, like, I think it's over, Adam. I think it's over. He's like, this in my face. This is cold. And he's like, this is cold.
Wait for good content, though, I'm sure. Yeah.
I remember I was at the Hoffman's house one day, and there was a guy roping in an arena, and he just kind of casually walked over, and Chase's mom, Emma, Chase, Hayden, and I were just sitting on the back deck. I think we were just having like some water, just chilling out, whatever. But he walked over all calm, and he just started talking. He's like, hey, Emma, can you call my wife? Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, what's going on? And he like pulled up his sleeve, and from roping, it was just like, it was pulled perfectly in the center. So he had a ball of bicep on both sides. It's like, holy shit, dude. That injury just does not look fun at all.
No, you gotta have, it's like surgery or you gotta eat it. And I was so young in the time, and I still wanted to train. Yeah. And I thought I took when I was younger, I thought I couldn't take any time off, you know? And I actually, logistically, I probably couldn't, because I was the one-man show running my business too. Yeah. You know, I had my support system and help, but end of the day, my name's on the door. I'm signing everything, my liabilities. It's me.
Yeah.
You know, I got to do all the books. I got, you know, my family.
Yeah.
I don't do all of it anymore. My wife and my sister help me a lot with everything. But.
That's awesome.
Should we get back into the early part of you starting the business then? Like what part of your career were you were in? And
so
sorry. Before we get out of the professional fighting stuff.
Yeah, don't forget about 805.
First sponsor, let's go.
Yeah, pick your six pack up at your local store.
Sorry, second sponsor. Bikeworks was first. But no, I saw, when I was looking you up and I saw your professional record, I saw that Herb Dean had reffed 2 of your fights?
Yeah.
What was that like? Was he a big ref at that time?
Yeah, he had. So for me, it was like, I've seen him on TV all the time, and he was like famous and all the stuff. And that's when I first got like my foot in the door to fight for Strikeforce. And that's, so Strike, for context, the UFC absorbed Strikeforce.
Okay.
Like they purchased Strikeforce, and everyone that was on the roster went to the UFC.
Damn.
So the guy who beat me, Yancy Medeiros, ended up having a really good run in the UFC right after we fought. And you know, you know, it goes on.
Life happens.
And also,
look at that. It's like, if I would have just waited, or if I would have just healed myself, or if I would have had someone telling me that, no, you can take a little bit of time off, so that way you can have more longevity in the sport.
Yeah.
But again, information wasn't out there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just like muscling it through.
Everything happens for a reason too. You know? Yeah. Everything happens for a reason as well.
Yeah. Well, you're not in a bad
where you're at now.
Yeah, you're not in a bad spot now. I mean, you opened your business. You were still fighting at the time, I would assume.
Yeah, I've had my business ever since I had my black belt. So right when I got my black belt, I started the gym.
Yeah.
I took over the gym, and I've just been teaching class. I taught class when I taught class actually in the karate program when I was a kid.
Okay.
From like 9 years old all the way to 12 years old. And some of my friends had started as white belts, and I was already my black belt, right? And I'd been teaching the class, and my coach was in the office. I'm teaching the beginners, and so I've had a lot of experience in, you know, being in that, you know, command, like captain's role.
Yeah, instructing,
you know, even in like PE class, I was the guy, hey, do all the warm-ups.
Yeah.
You know? All right, guys. So it's just like part of it.
Yeah.
And ever since I got my black belt, I thought to myself, all right, I used to work at, rewind. I used to work for a biotech company called Technova, like right out of high school. And I worked my way up real quick into becoming the inventory manager, like the QC, like quality control inventory manager for a biotech company. It's really a startup, a small one.
Yeah.
And it wasn't hard because we were putting stuff in containers in the harbor. So it was like the quality control. It was just making sure everything was labeled, organized, placed there. But it went from being in a quality controlled lab and no stuff, and then all of a sudden it's in bottles, but then you throw in a freaking dirty dumpster. So they had to like probably sterilize it. And I don't even know.
But it sounds sick on a resume.
Anyway, yeah. So I ended up becoming a biotech manager, and they wanted to move. They ended up moving to what was it? Hollister. They moved to Hollister, and they have like this company. It's called Technova, and they're one of the premier companies for like the baseline stuff for pharmaceutical companies that make drugs and other things like that.
Should have taken the stock option.
They offered me all that stuff. I was startup stuff. Yeah. I really didn't enjoy it. It stunk. I had to throw things in autoclave, and it was brutal, dude. Like, it was just brutal. Anyway, I could have moved with them.
Was it at least paying the bills? Were you getting?
Oh, I was making money. I was 18 years old. Like paying everything. You know, I was making good money. I think I was making like $30 an hour.
Oh shit!
Back that time.
Yeah.
That's
solid.
Yeah, and it was only because I'd been growing up in the fish trap, and my parents said, like, this is what you need to do, and I pay attention. This is how you run the business, how you do the books. Every napkin counts. Every fork counts, dude. Everything's a dollar. Maybe not right now. You don't see those cents right now. Those cents add up, at the end of the year. So I'm like, I secure my grandma's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't waste those napkins. Yeah. Take them out of the garbage.
$1 a day adds up. Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Adding, accounting for inflation there, you said a couple cents.
A couple cents. Now it's a couple dollars, yeah, I'm sure you learned how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah. So right after that, I was like, all right, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu full time. I committed. And then I was like, all right, I don't want to go to work. How am I going to sustain this lifestyle that I'm living right now? Because my folks helped me out for a little bit. But my dad one day sat me down and he's like, what the fuck you doing? What are you going to do? You're going to work or what? I'm like, he's like, where are you going to work? Why don't you take that one job? I'm like, no, this is going to pay off. I'm going to be the one. I'm the one, and I was close. I'd already been doing really well, and I was really close to getting my black belt. And then I beat Nick Diaz, and I got my black belt right after I beat Nick Diaz in the jiu-jitsu tournament over here in Santa Cruz.
So you fought both of the brothers then? I thought you were just saying just Nate.
No, Nate and Nick. Nick beat me once. We were purple belts, and I ended up fighting him again at the U.S. Open.
What do you think about this whole Nate versus Jake Paul thing again?
Dude, the marketing. The marketing, right?
Nate's getting a hell of a payday, I'm sure.
It's good money, Yeah. Like, if that's where he wants to spend his time and make that money.
I want to see one of them fight RuPaul.
Although it was pretty funny in the first fight when, or no, that wasn't, who was it? The MMA guy that fought, I think it was Logan Paul. Dylan Dennis fought Logan Paul and tried to like take him down in the last round. That was pretty funny.
I don't know if I watched it.
No, Dylan Dennis is a joke.
Is he?
He's a clown. He's a clown show. He's just like Connor's little puppet that, he tried to like be like, I'm little Connor. Making some noise. I'm making noise. Everyone look at me.
Yeah.
He's trying to get in the roadhouse.
He should just get a watermelon, put it on his head.
Did you ever get to meet McGregor?
McGregor, no. But I trained with Khabib a whole bunch. Like,
that was one of my questions.
Yeah, we trained Khabib. I trained actually Khabib with Khabib alongside Javier Mendez and a couple other coaches there, AKA during the fight camp with Connor.
Damn.
And that's when Adam was training heavy over at AKA. Yeah. He was in that fight camp too.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And when it comes to like keeping up with UFC today, I mean, who's your favorite fighter? Who's up and coming that you like?
I like Chama, Alex Pereira. I like. He's like the showstopper right now.
Dude,
he's like the guy.
He's got to get another fight on the books quick too. He didn't take a hit. He
just needs to keep fighting, but they want him to keep fighting. He needs to take the time to heal proper. That's why he lost that last fight, right? And then he came back and he's like, all right, dude. But when it's the champ, sometimes you feel the pressure and you have to do it. And,
dude, he's got such a good story too.
It's
the car shop in Brazil too. He went back. Did you ever see that picture with the belt in front of the car shop?
No.
Or car or tire shop, whatever it is. But It's a pretty cool picture.
Started from the bottom, now I'm here.
Yeah, seriously. What was your time like in Brazil? I saw you went out there. I found an old interview, dude.
Yeah.
I found an old interview. You were up in Portland and somebody was asking you questions and it was literally like typed out questions and typed out answers. It was like, Raul.
No way. That's
pretty funny.
I was in Portland, huh?
Yeah.
That's when I used to fight amateur, like in a bowling alley. In a parking lot in a bowling alley, because you couldn't find anybody to fight. And no one, like, and you couldn't fight in California.
Wow.
Like you couldn't fight
That's
MMA
wild.
in California, so you have to like go underground.
Yeah.
And like in Oregon and Washington and in Montana and stuff, there was there's underground fights. And
Damn.
I think that was like my first pro fight.
Damn.
Yeah, and that was in Oregon, and that was in one of those expo centers.
Damn.
But it was like in the middle of nowhere.
Are these underground? Like they got a bunch of like mobsters betting on this shit. Like
Yeah, they got like some, but not mobsters. It's like the farmers, It's like those guys, it's like all the guys, the cattle ranchers. It's all the cattle ranchers got money in the front. It's like Yellowstone. It's like Yellowstone in the front there,
I lost a fight in a Denny's parking lot. We're not that different.
So when you're in a fight and like you talked about how you kind of have to take a step back and analyze like how did that person beat you, but when you're in the moment in the fight and you take a big shot, what goes through your brain?
Tweety birds.
Yeah, I've taken a couple big shots. It's just like autopilot. Like sometimes it's not even, you can't even think. It's just about was my training good enough? And then believe. Don't fucking stop, dude. Because the moment you don't believe in yourself anymore and you start thinking they're stronger than you, or then you're fucking cooked.
Yeah.
You're done. It's over. And so it's just like, nope. It's just not today. Not today. Nope, not that one. I wasn't good enough. Nope, I can take more.
Want to get your business in front of a loyal local audience? Between Shifts brings coastside stories to life with real conversations, local legends, and plenty of laughs. Sponsorships include custom ad reads, shout outs and episodes, and visibility across all our socials, all designed to connect your brand with engaged listeners who support local. Now please email betweenshiftspod@gmail.com for any inquiries.
Did I ask you about your time in Brazil?
We were just about to touch on that.
Okay, yeah. I thought I had asked you. But what was your trainer's name? Joe?
Yeah.
Joe? So what was it? I read that you got to go to Brazil and kind of see where he was from, and what was that like?
That was an interesting time because I got to go and see like all the best stuff and the best gyms and like the most premier things and eat at the nicest places and in Brazil, it's in that time, American money is a lot, more valuable than the reais. You can get more for your dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, I wanted to invest in myself. So I had a good credit card because I had a job and I knew how to build credit. So.
And how old were you?
20.
Nice.
I think I was 20.
I thought you were going to say in 2020. I was like, oh shit, dude.
Had a good.
I'm like 21, 22, 21, and 20. And I was 20. And I remember that being like one of the best experiences in jiu-jitsu because again, like I got to experience and just like it in the world because I didn't really, I've been in Mexico. I've done things with my parents and all the stuff, but I've been with somebody else that they were there, but I'm responsible for myself.
Yeah.
I'm a 20-year-old man. I can make my own decisions. If I want to go out, I'm going to go out. You're my coach, but I only go so far. Like, dude. I'm going to do whatever I like. At the end of the day, I pay my bills. I pay all the bills.
Yep.
Right. And I want to do certain things and I've done all the boxes are checked.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got to experience the best, but then we also got into the grimiest, like the lowest gyms, but that's where some of the dogs are. Like
The Chama gyms.
Yeah, trauma gyms, dude. Like deep in the favelas, and some of the best guys in jiu-jitsu right now. Like for context, there's like the Mendez brothers. Those guys are like cutting edge guys, where they trained in Sao Paulo, where it's like dangerous to go, like danger. Mm-hmm. In Rio de Janeiro, like you're in the mountains in the favela and stuff, and you're only there because you train jiu-jitsu, and the guy who does the nonprofit stuff because he gives geese to everybody.
Yeah.
And he feeds everybody. You know, it's very scary.
What were the favelas like?
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you're talking to people and you're in the car and I'm in the back seat, but they're not even looking at you. They're looking in your car at what all the stuff that you have.
Damn.
You know, and they're like, oh, and they like stop. Hey, you need to go this way because they're trying to like hustle you. It's just getting hustled left and right by pros that are at every age, and you just don't talk to them. And like kids with like razor blades fingers and stuff. Like
fuck,
dude, it's like X-Men.
Yeah,
like but they're surviving. People are surviving.
Yeah. It was
eye-opening.
Did you find over there that a lot of people trained, a lot more people, like a percentage of the population trained?
Yes,
more than here.
Absolutely. In that time, I feel like what jiu-jitsu is now, it was then in Brazil. So like it's jiu-jitsu is more popular, more people train. It's still new. You know, jiu-jitsu is actually only 100 years old.
Yeah.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and being popular in Brazil is only like popular. The first gyms were like 1925 by the Gracie brothers.
Okay. Well, I feel like it's kind of turned into like for Dominican Republic and Venezuela, countries like that, where it's like baseball became like a way for these kids to essentially like find a way out.
Oh yeah,
and that's what jiu-jitsu is.
Yeah,
to a lot of the Brazilians.
Yeah, that's very big. It's very true. So it's the second biggest sport in Brazil, besides soccer. But that's like international. Can't beat
Dude,
soccer.
Brazilians are fucking animals. They're all over in action sports too.
Yeah.
You look at surfing. I want to say, okay, I can only name surfing right now. Oh, bull riding. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh,
surfing and bull riding is insane.
Roger Vieira in downhill mountain biking, Dodgy Raji.
There you go. Mountain biking.
There you go.
Well, how long were you in Brazil?
So about 3 months.
Okay. Did you speak any Portuguese when you went there?
So I speak Spanish, and being in Brazil, it's very similar. And it's similar.
It's close enough.
It's close enough, right?
Yeah.
It's not Portuguese from Portugal, like Portuguese from Portugal. It's a lot of shush, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, it's more Latino. Like Brazil is more Latino, and you can kind of get away with it. And you know, you've been down south. Yeah. But Spanish is Spanish. It's like Spanish. Like it's a different version of Spanish.
Yeah.
You'll go to Colombia,
Spanish
Venezuela,
and Spain, and all those areas. They're all different. Yeah. Every dialect's different. They use words for certain
it's
things.
Very you can communicate.
Yeah. Okay.
I tried to do the Spanish thing in Italy when we went with Adam, and that didn't work at all.
Yeah.
You know, Italian is like that's a whole different beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a totally different thing.
That's a completely different language.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything more about Brazil, or do you want to hop into
So I went to Brazil initially to go compete in the world championships, and I wanted to see how I was going to do in fair, because locally and regionally I was performing really well. I hadn't lost in a couple of years, so I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm going to be the world champion this year, and I did really well. I was winning, and then guy slapped some sneaky stuff on me. I didn't realize what he did, and I ended up losing, by an advantage or something like that. Something super close. I was bummed and pissed, but I'd been training the entire time. But that taught me that I was a big dog here. I'm a big fish in my pond, but the pond is just so much deeper. Yeah. You know, there's so many more people I haven't trained with yet.
Yeah.
There's so much exposure to be had.
And you're kind of a rarity. We were talking to John Parsons about this a little bit, but about the Half Moon Bay bubble. I know you had to get immediately outside of that for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and competing and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But like a lot of the sports on the coast get stuck in this Half Moon Bay bubble. And John was really good about talking about how you need to get out there.
Yeah, you got to cross train. You got to see. Yeah. You need to know what your competition looks like. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't think that what you're doing is the only thing. You know, it's like what Bruce Lee says. Use no way as the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Because because what my way might work for you, but it might not work for you or you.
Yeah.
You know, it worked for me, but it doesn't necessarily gonna work for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and I have to figure out where I fit in and all that stuff. And I have to test it out too on different practitioners and, like you said, different styles. And in the combat sport, you need to feel that.
Definitely.
You know, you can't just like watch it on a tape. You need to like go and actually put your body there.
Yeah.
And feel that. It's like surfing. You need to feel that wave.
How important is it to understand what it feels like to lose, though, as well? Because that kind of gives you a new drive into your next.
Losing is more important than winning.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more important than anything. Like in order to win, you've had to lose how many times? You know, like
Mm-hmm.
I've won a lot and I was undefeated for a long time, but before then I
Got choked out in front of your girl.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my friend half my size, so I know.
Yeah.
You know, I know what it's like, but I know what it's like to be humbled.
Yeah.
You know, I really know what it's like at the most core juvenile level, you know, what it's like to be humbled inside of your, like, the little kid you got inside of you. That guy got choked, dude. That ego, but that's just a figment. That was a delusion that I was carrying with myself until that point when I woke up and I snapped out of the matrix.
Mm-hmm. That was something my dad always told me growing up. He's like, every good man gets his ass kicked. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, you got your ass kicked, Dad? He's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You gotta pay your dues.
Yeah.
You gotta pay your dues and you gotta learn it from somewhere. And that's where all these kids that are coming up now, you'd mentioned Gavin and Adam and all these guys. Well, those guys, right now, Adam's the guy, you know? Yeah. Now Gavin's gonna be the guy. But it's just like you pass the torch and it's like my time was my time. That was Adam's time. But when it was my time, he got squeezed, you know? Like everyone you have to pass it down. And it's one of those things that you have to earn it. Yeah. The respect isn't given. You gotta earn it. And you gotta like put your face there to get punched. Mm-hmm. And there's no other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to learn how to swim, you gotta get wet. You know what I mean?
Like
there's no other way around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't swim.
Dude, also, but going back to Gavin, he's talking about Gavin Hallahan. Such a great dude. I grew up running around with him in Miramar.
Yeah.
I was good friends with Hayden Von Allman, and they lived in Miramar right next to that. It's Hallinan. Sorry. Yeah. The Hallanans. And we'd run around with like him and Gio Rovi, and just, we felt so cool because we were so younger and we were just running around with all the older dudes, but they always made us feel so just like included. They're
That's
like,
the Half Moon Bay vibe right
like,
there.
go bomb the hill, dude. Ride your bike down this. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Right down from
you
the
gotta
water
pass
tower.
that down.
Yeah.
You gotta pass that down because I was 20, Gavin was 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was one of my students. I was like 17, Gavin was 7. Yeah. And he's in there. I'm like, Gavin, dude, you gotta choke this kid. Otherwise, he's gonna choke you. What did I tell Gavin? I'm like, Gavin, dude, what would you rather have? His grandmama crying or your grandmama crying? He's like, no one's talking about my grandma.
He carries that personality with him everywhere too. Yeah. Gavin's just like that too.
His brother's also super cool.
Devin's
Devin.
Devin.
Yeah, and if you need some life insurance, I think he's the guy.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
I remember I randomly ran into him in Reno at a basketball tournament. Devin was playing, but Gavin and his mom were there courtside. And I was like, "What's up, Gavin?" And it was funny. That was like the first time I'd seen him since running around with him as a kid.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
he actually turned me on to a gym in Slow when I was down there because I was just kind of playing around with the idea of getting into martial arts, and I was looking into Muay Thai. And there's a Paragon gym down in Slow. I went to like 2 classes, and then I don't know. It just kind of fell through the cracks, but.
You're busy, man. You had your agenda.
Yeah, I did, but I wish I did it more. I need to come see you.
Yeah, anytime you guys want. We're there. There's a gym in there. There's weights. It's a one-stop shop.
I got to learn how to swim too.
Dude,
got an ocean right there.
I know.
Jed's getting his money's worth. I see him. He's in there all the time. Jed's
the guy. Yeah.
He's an animal, dude.
That's another one. I've been training Jed since he was like 14.
Another one of those Miramar kids too.
Everyone, man, when you guys saying everybody, I'm like, oh, these guys were kids.
Yeah. Well, should we talk a little bit about the shop? I mean, you opened it when you were a black belt.
So I started above Cowboy Surf Shop, and then I was there and teaching the kids class, and it started growing in popularity, and my kickboxing class grew because it was gnarly, and I was fighting a whole bunch, and there was a vibe. You know, there was like that, oh, I'm in the zone right now. Raul's like winning all the time. This is the way, I'm really focusing on my health. I want to get in shape. And that attracted more, the local boys that like, all right, dude, and the tough guys and the guys were kind of hard that wanted to throw down and test a little bit. That were the athletes in town, the football players, like the champions, but didn't really didn't chase that dream anymore. They went to work, and they became like blue collar or professional or whatever. And then those are the guys in there helping me chase my dream. Yeah. We'd line them up and then like, all right, punch me in the face as much as you can. then I just like I try to, just survive it. And,
Yeah.
But then from the shop, doing those old school days, then I sat down, I'm like, man, I got to level up. I want a nicer gym. Like I ended up going down south, and I went to this gym called No Limits, and I was like, wow. It was like the Bay Club for fitness or for fighting.
Okay.
Like Bay Clubs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's like 24-hour fitness, but like nice.
Yeah. It's like the country. That's a country club version of 24-hour fitness. Yeah.
So it had like an Olympic wrestling mat. It had like a whole jiu-jitsu section. It had this and that, and it was actually so big. It had like a chiropractor. It had
You can do juice cleanse in there.
I gotta be careful because it had the juice bar. It had the whole deal.
I know what I'd be there for.
Yeah, they had fitness classes. They had kickboxing classes. They had aerobic classes. They had yoga classes. They had this and that.
That's cool.
And I was like, So and I asked a million questions like, what's the overhead? How much is rent here? What's the membership? How many members do you have? What's the insurance like in a place like this?
Yeah.
I started asking logistics, and then I thought to myself, all right, I could probably scale this in Half Moon Bay. My school's full and busy, and the surf shop's like 650 square. It's like running a gym in the top layer right here.
Yeah.
I think the sign's still up over there too, isn't it?
Yeah. A good friend of mine owns the building.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna go move. And everyone's like, oh no, we shouldn't do it. It's a horrible idea. I'm like, it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work now. Everyone says not to do it. I'm all in. I'm going all in on this. And I'm young. I don't care about losing on stuff. I'm 21 years old, 22 years old. I can take a risk. I can absorb this loss long term if I really need to. Right. And I didn't worry about it. Everyone's like, oh, the stock market just crashed. And it's 2000. I think it was 2008 or 9. Yeah, I think it was like 9.
Yeah.
And everything was, the market crashed and this and that. And the Farm Bureau was going through some turmoil because some guy had just embezzled a bunch of money from the beautification committee in Half Moon Bay.
Oh, I remember all that.
Yeah, remember all that?
Yeah.
And then, the Farm Bureau didn't have a good rep. And then, anyway, it was just a great opportunity for Mike. Oh, it's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And Lisa Damrosch, AKA Lisa Betancourt. I don't know if you know the Betancourts.
Yeah. Mariah was on.
Yeah, Todd.
Yeah. Mariah came on the podcast.
Yeah, I also taught Todd for many years.
Nice.
Yeah. So Lisa,
Todd's helping us with our Prohibition project.
Let's go.
Yeah. That's a small town.
Todd. He had a great nickname. We called him Pimba. Like in Portuguese, like everything, bam.
Yeah.
In English it's bam, but in Portuguese it's Pimba.
It's a lot harder to say.
And everywhere he went, it's like, I'm here. He's like ready to go, and always ready, and to charge too. Like, man, this kid needs a helmet, dude. I gotta be careful. He's like, hey, Raul. He's like at the top of my jumpy house. I'm like, I'm up here. He's like jumping down doing.
So Lisa ended up helping you.
Yeah,
she was
Lisa
the
ended up
rep
helping
for the Farm Bureau.
Yeah, she ended up helping me for the Farm Bureau, and then Mariah is a real estate agent, and they had Delmar Properties and connected me in there, and that was it.
Yeah,
I was in there, and I got they hooked me up with a good deal. No one wanted to touch them, and I was willing to work with them, and they had new management in there, and BJ Burns is the new building, and he was like on the board, and they all let it happen and support it. Naomi Patridge is on the board too, Like, okay, let's see what happens here, And I'm a local boy, try to make something happen, and I'd pay all my bills on time. I had good credit. I had some savings going on, and I'm like, let's just go.
Yeah.
And we just built it. And I was training at the same time and competing and showing them to teach classes, and
I'm sure it was out of their realm. Like they probably had no idea what was going on when you were moving yourself in there. Like the whole committee, but they had no idea.
They had no idea, but there was no one in there.
Yeah.
There's the paint shop had been out there. Morgan Glass wasn't in there. The barber shop wasn't. There's no one.
Yeah.
You know what was in there was the Pampered Pup.
Yeah.
Mercedes was in there. That was it.
And the rest of the downstairs was all like storage for a while.
Yeah, it was all empty. I remember moving in and it smelled like a goat.
Yeah.
Olafano was there before.
Yep.
It was Olafano's before.
Mike was in there, yeah.
Yeah.
He left his goats.
But it's the Farm Bureau building. It used to be the feed store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you getting your haircut at Main Barber now then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just walk
Easy.
right over there.
I just go in there. What's that?
Through the bathroom.
Anna hooks it up.
Yeah.
Danny hooks it up, and then if I can get Wish,
Yeah.
just I like to rotate. It's just like, who's busy? Because for me, it's like, man, I gotta just slide this haircut in.
Yeah.
Luis used to be my guy, but like he's so busy too. He's Luis Vrat, blends.
Yeah.
So early on, was that just full one-man show?
Oh yeah. Well, I had support so Charlene Coates was my black belt. I don't know if you know Miss Mate. Yeah, Miss Mate's Miss Mate's granddaughter, Charlene. She was a big support system.
Okay.
Like she was huge in this time to help me build the program and support while I was fighting. I was teaching everybody and training, and I grabbed Adam, and I'd always bring Adam with me, as my little guy, but I only could bring one, but we would always come back hey, Charlene, and teach Charlene. It would be the three of us. We were like a trio, me, Adam, and Charlene Coates. And then Matt Aragoni would help fill in here and there, and just teach classes whenever we needed to. But he was always busy. He was going to school, working. He's at the Ritz. He was bartending. He's
getting his real estate license.
Everything.
Valeting cars.
Valet. Yeah, dude, Matt's everywhere.
Dude, he did valet for a while.
Now he's crushing it.
He is crushing it. Yeah.
He's selling and buying a lot.
His Instagram's pretty fun to check out, all the new listings that he gets.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff that goes on in your building then.
Oh, so much stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that go through there. And then that's the other thing of jiu-jitsu. I never thought jiu-jitsu was going to really make me money or anything like that. But what jiu-jitsu really made me was relationships and networking and meeting people, high level people, and sharing knowledge. I would share my knowledge in my field, and they would share their knowledge in their field and counter in return if they saw that I was open to it or needed it.
Yeah.
I have one of my mentors is a financial advisor or is a consultant, with big firms. His name's Wayne Perry.
Okay.
People on the coast might know him. And he's one of my black belts, and he ended up coming to me when I was in my prime and quit golf and started training jiu-jitsu and ended up, befriending me and mentoring me and, oh, Raul, we need to do this. You need to do that. And he teaches classes, financial classes over at Stanford. He volunteers that.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a high-level individual.
Wow.
And, he's one of my, people close in my circle. They're maybe you do this or whatever you do. It's always suggestive. It's never he's told me to do anything or given me anything. He's he's planting seeds on me and then letting them go. And then all of a sudden I'm oh. And then I consult with them. This is where you should be. And directing me. And
okay.
That's pretty awesome.
What's something you learned about yourself just through all of that, trusting yourself to start your own business and pretty much just diving deep into that front? What's the biggest takeaway you learned about yourself through that time?
That nobody knows me better than me.
Yeah.
That nobody knows me better than me. People can be, like Arnold says, you got the naysayers, don't listen to those guys. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's no one knows you better than you. No one's living in your body. No one's making choices for you. No one has the repercussions of the choices that you made. No one lived your life to get to the point where you are right now. So how can they tell you what you already know?
Yeah.
So that's what I learned about myself, really starting my business. And I think that comes from my dad. He's very Mufasa, remember who you are. It's very Mufasa. But believe in yourself, and you've been trained, you have tools, you've already been successful in a lot of things. Just apply that towards the dream that you want and that you have, and show up every day.
Yeah.
And show up. When you don't want to, show up. When you want to, show up. When you're tired, show up. Mm-hmm. When you have every excuse of why you can't do it, bitch, just show up. Show up.
Yeah. Consistency. Yeah. Just like what you're saying.
Show up and just do it.
Yep.
I always had this question, but just what kind of confidence does it bring when you walk into a room and you just it's quiet confidence, I'm sure, because you're very humble, but when you just walk in and you're the baddest dude in there? You walk into this room and you're I'm the baddest dude in this podcast right now. What kind of confidence does that give you?
That's interesting because I don't even think about that anymore.
Oh,
I used to think like
Doesn't even
that
have
one.
to think about it.
I
non-factors.
I'm prepared, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel very prepared and comfortable in many situations. Maybe if I'm going out to this, I used to feel like that when I was younger, and I've been in a couple situations that were super dangerous that, that just happened all of a sudden. That puts perspective into play. Like I'm bad, but if I'm with people who aren't that bad and they can get hurt real fast, I can get hurt really quick too. Mm-hmm. I remember when you think you're the baddest one and you're looking for trouble, it's going to find you.
Yeah.
Guaranteed 100% of the time. Boom. I remember being a kid, 19 years old, Santa Barbara, Halloween, one of the guys I'm hanging out with said something stupid to somebody's or hit on someone's girlfriend. They weren't supposed, like, the whole party, it's not your house. You know what I mean? You're disrespecting the house. And all of a sudden you show up and you're with a bunch of a-holes. It's like, and you're fighting a party and you're like, dude, I'm a bad dude for being able to fight 5 or 6 dudes at the same time and walking away. But that's a price. I couldn't hear out of one ear. My ear was bleeding on one side. I bruised a bunch of ribs. My finger bent. I broke my finger. It bent all the way back. And, and I had to go home and tell my dad, I think I was like 17. Maybe I was like 17 even.
Damn.
I think I was still in high school. I'm visiting my friends who are in college and like, I'm the man. I have a job. I can do all these things. I'm 17 and pay my own bills. And
like you see,
I don't know when people say like they don't build them like they used to. I don't know. My 17-year-old self would smash any 17-year-old in a lot of different ways. In like consistency, showing up. Like, I only know a handful of kids that go and work as hard as I possibly did in that time. Yeah. I did more push-ups than you. I did more running than you. Ask Mr. Maganini. Yeah. I was in the class running harder than you I was out working. I'm a grinder. Yeah. And I knew that. And that's what I was taught in the city by like BJ Penn. I remember meeting BJ Penn when I was like 16 years old and 17 years old when he was training in San Francisco.
That's sick.
Like the guy who trains Mark Zuckerberg, his coach, he was Dave Camarillo. He was in those rooms in the time when I'm like, not even supposed to watch them, but I'm like, taking a shower in the back, but I'm like watching in the crack in the back, watching the secret moves that they're practicing that you're not allowed to be back there. Yeah. What are you doing back here? Like jiu-jitsu is a secret back then. Yeah. It was very, very tight. You weren't allowed. Yeah. Yeah. You had to be like, you had to earn your spot.
Can we hear more about this party brawl?
Oh, sure. Sure.
Somebody hit on somebody's girlfriend and then shit just hit the fan?
Yeah, I'm like outside in the park, like within a circle or whatever, and everyone's just hanging out in the backyard. And my friend, he's like, look at the legs, man. So he's like he's totally flirting with this guy's girlfriend, but this the guy's house, and he's kind of like he's excited, he's on one, dude. Yeah. It's Halloween. I'm ready. It's like Animal House, I'm gonna leave it to your imagination. You're in Santa Barbara about 24 years ago. Less police, less regulation, less red tape. More things are able. I remember walking in the street and like dragging the cop like, oh my God, my friend's back there. He needs help. He's like, you probably deserved it and kicked me. Oh my, that's what I knew. I'm like, I gotta run.
That's back when, was Travis Von Allman down in Santa Barbara at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. He might have been there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What was it called? DP or Double Plot? Yeah, that downtown DP, right?
I don't know.
What is it? You would know this.
What?
It's that main strip road, that road that
in Santa Barbara.
In Santa Barbara, that all the kids like second years live on. That was Rosa houses.
I can't think of it.
Isn't it La Playa?
Del Playa or something like that.
Yeah.
Damn. Right by Freebirds. Is it still there? I haven't been there for 20 years.
David's normally the guy that knows the locations.
I always remember going to get fire burritos like at like 2 a.m. after. That was a fun time.
Well, after that, did you end up doing some bodyguarding or doing security?
So I didn't really get into bodyguarding or security, but one of my old coaches, or my first karate coach, Fred Villari Studios, ended up being the hand-to-hand tactical defense coordinator for a very prestigious bodyguard firm. And they would use the gym to do all their their training
there.
Yeah. And they would do it like quarterly. They'd come there for like 8 hours once every 3 months. And he would just go hand to hand, disarming, guns, knives, just strategy, all that cool stuff.
Do you get many of those corporate buyout type of events?
I actually, honestly, before COVID, I did a lot more.
Okay.
I did a ton of them. I want to say because they're a Zoom and all the stuff that people like don't do as much team building activities as they used to. They go on Zoom and they go on more like party retreats. Like they don't do like, I don't know. I had Google come out and we went to the beach house a few times and we did, empowerment and, basic stances through karate and then having an obstacle and how you can punch through it, and how you can like push yourself through those obstacles.
Team building stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. All the team building work and, the philosophies of martial arts and how to build confidence inside your team. And instead of being a boss, being a leader and practice what you preach and being open to communication, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah. And on Monday, everyone's fighting in the office, knocking down.
So they were breaking boards. On Monday, they're like bringing their boards.
I've been practicing all weekend.
It was great. I had like 40 guys from Google. They all had their the guy bought all the uniforms. We were out there on the beach. He had us do that a couple times. It was really fun.
That's pretty killer. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, through all the years that you've run your studio so far, what's something that like if there's a dream program that you could do, you haven't had the chance to do yet, what's something you really want to focus your energy on?
I'm really glad you asked that because this is the actual year that dream and that work has been coming to fruition. We are working on a nonprofit right now. It's called the Dojo Project. It's DBA, the Dojo Project. It's called the Hemisphere School. And myself, Bryce Jensen, Toby Larson, Elijah is on the board too. And then Matt's also on our board, Matt Aragoni.
Yeah.
And we're trying to help at-risk youth and low-income families engage in enrichment programs after school, not just jiu-jitsu or just any like specific thing, but anything that enriches an at-risk or low-income family's child to even the playing field. And we're going to be like that liaison, that middle person, almost like the Boys and Girls Club, which I have mixed feelings about because I've had different, interactions with them. It's in my opinion, it's very exclusive. You have to be very tight in with which you can do. And for me, philanthropy is about like really giving back to your community. And I'll eat the dollar if I'm going to help a kid eat some food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to be 100% enrolled in my program. So that's the biggest focus not the biggest focus. It's one of my most passionate focuses that I have right now, that we get this thing off the board, that we do some fundraising for it. And we got approved by the beautification committee. We did our fundraiser. We sold acai bowls at the Pumpkin Festival. Nice. We did pretty well. We're trying to dial all that in so we really can make it more efficient for the next year and hopefully, a generator for our nonprofit. Yeah. But that's
And is that essentially like getting kids into the program where they can use your facility, like not
it's not just exclusive for me. It's an enrichment program. So let's say that let's say you had a bike club and your guys' bike club was enrolled in the Dojo Project. We can allocate funds. We can get this kid sponsored. We can work out a system where, we can fund that person's project because we understand that, I understand that those are spaces. It takes time, and energy to fund those kids, and the money needs to come from somewhere. And I'm supplementing as much as I can because what I do in my gym, I own the gym. That's why I like owning my stuff because I can do those things whenever I want, But at a certain point, I need a little more assistance to get and to reach the community to really make that positive impact I'm looking to make instead of in just one kid. Honestly, just really making a positive impact in one child's life deeply, where you can change the trajectory for them, I felt is very rewarding and enriching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like I've had a couple mentors in my life that if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be where I am today. I could be easily, I went to parties when I was like 18, 19, 17, at Santa Barbara, it's like, I was a good kid, but there's also times where I'm with my friends and like, I want to be accepted. I want to be the guy. And, I want to experience those things. I want to be mature. I want to, you know, and
that's where like with the bike shop, you know, we don't do a whole lot, but we take donation bikes, and all the time we have, you know, whether it's a farm worker or a kid that needs a bike to get to school, it's like we have a handful of bikes, like donation bikes that are just always in the container that we'll give away for that. But like just recently we gave this kid Henry, we literally saw this kid at the pump track like every single day in Corey Park, just riding.
He's riding a cruiser.
Yeah, no,
it was like a cruiser.
It was a bad bike.
Went from a cruiser to a hard, but just like no suspension bike.
Yeah,
riding on the pump track, just like airing it to flat, and we're like, fuck.
This kid was committed, and he was there every day, and we ended up basically pulling together some money, and we got him like a nice bike, and we were able to give it to him. And dude, he just came in the other day, you know, fixed a flat for him. And dude, he's so stoked. He's riding his bike every single day. And it's just, you know, it's something that feels good.
It's impactful. Like that changes the trajectory. And he also, hopefully he feels like supported and cared about, right? And valued as a human, because that's the thing. Some kids feel so alone, you know, by themselves, even though they have family and all this stuff. Even like, I remember growing, like when you're bullied or you're just in your adolescent phase, there's moments, even when you have everything, you're so confused, you're alone, you know, but the kids feel like, oh, there's more than just my network or people that I think are there's more people who actually really care about me and have value
definitely
as a human.
And we didn't touch on this, but I know that you've helped people in the community, like Julia Mingstein, like start program through your studio.
Yeah. She has the power of she at the gym. And I remember seeing Julia running on the beach when she was a little girl, you know, like in high school and stuff. I'm like, man, and just doing her and living her dream and just being in there. And I remember Matt's like, oh, I'm training this girl right now. She's, you know, really strong and athletic. I'm like, oh, Julia, you can, you know, I just drop in the entrepreneurial seed in there because I can see she's on a very similar trajectory and a path that I was living in, chasing a dream in athletics. It might not be a fight dream, but it's a dream in chasing a passion that she has, that she's using her body. Like she needs to like get in shape and healthy and compete at that high level.
Yeah.
And she's in there. She's amazing. And she's doing a really, really great job with all the kids that the people she works with.
And it's super cool that you're, you know, using your gym for something like that, where it's not just you know, you're opening it up to these other people and allowing them to pursue projects of their own.
I just want, my whole ethos is everybody wins. And it starts with me and the ability to offer that. I've already done a lot of the groundwork. And if you want it bad, it's right there for you to take. You can do it. We're all going to win together. You know, I know how I'm going to win with you, but I'm not going to sit there and like poke you and drive you anymore. I've done that for many years, trying to hold people's hands and drive. But so when I see a passionate person and that's disciplined and wants to do it, I'm down to like help them out in any way I can, and even like mentor them the way I was, you know, roundabout mentor people, and you know, not directly, but you know, drop the seeds that were dropped to me that were really helpful when I was young. Yeah, that like kind of resonated. Now older, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so glad that person said that to me. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad I opened that account. I'm so glad I did this.
Yeah.
Because it really does add up. Time is a very powerful thing.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Well, you kind of lead into this next question, but what kind of legacy do you want to leave, not only for your kids, but also for this town? Like, what do you want to be remembered for?
Oh man, that's a good one. Like that goes back into my ego, but I don't need to be remembered. Like all I want to know is that I made an impact in people's lives. I don't need the town to remember me. Maybe that they can pay it for. So I talk a lot about my grandma, and it's important that the legacy I leave are the lessons that were given to me by those before me. Right? That the history isn't lost. And I guess the legacy I want to leave is the lessons that my family taught me as growing up, that they brought back with them, my grandfather's grandfather said this, and then when he said that, I want that to be remembered. Those little things I said in class, the the little quips and quotes and the little analogies. Like, oh, I had a teacher one day. He was, they said this to me, and they tell their kids that stuff, and it's awesome. It's already happening because I have kids that I taught that they're bringing their kids to me that I'm teaching.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So I'm like grandpa already without being grandpa. It's kind of brutal,
That's
but
awesome.
it's very immortalizing. But at the same time, like it's already kind of happening, and the community already kind of honored me with being the role model of the year in 2017, like the first one in the Chamber of Commerce.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like,
cool.
I'm not even a member of Chamber of Commerce. They're like, you better be in there. I'm like, oh shit. Right, I'll be the one.
Go sign up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just been doing some, again, working with the kids, and I just want to see that these kids grow up to be strong humans and participating in their community and paying it forward later on. That way that our community can thrive and kind of bring it back to the glory days, like where I grew up, and I can just go outside and I can trust that my neighbors we're all looking out for each other, and if we're doing good, like, hey, dude, your kid's doing great. Hey, dude, your kid's kind of fucking up, like we're all watching out for each other. And and sometimes like you don't hear it from your dad or your mom or your family. You hear it from your dad's buddy or some other mentor or, Christian said something, like, dang, that hit way harder, but it's like, damn, my dad already said that.
Then you go home and your dad's like, I fucking told you.
Or you just like give him a solid hug, like, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's like my dad. I do that to my dad all the time, and he loves just like, and I know it makes him proud and all that stuff. And my kid does it to me. He goes, oh, Daddy, you showed me this thing and it worked. And like I did it at school, or I showed somebody. And the biggest one is like I showed somebody else and it worked for them too.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
It's awesome.
So,
mentoring just
Super
down the
awesome.
line.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, shit, that's Raul Castillo.
Yeah.
Guys,
You want to tell people where to find you?
765 Main Street.
Yeah.
Right next to the barber shop. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
That's and if you want,
La Petite Pauline, like I can't believe people are like, oh, I never even knew you were there.
Yeah,
It's 5,000 square feet, so
can't miss it.
you if you want a cool glimpse into the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or just MMA world, check out his Instagram. He does a lot of good videos, and you're killing it.
Thank you.
So super happy for you, man. Thanks for taking time out of your day.
Thank you for coming.
All right, welcome back. This is the recap for Raul Castillo's episode. Super passionate and just his brain is just always turning.
Yeah, that guy is constantly on one, and you can see where his grandma put him into karate at a young age. Like that guy, if he was similar to how he is now, like he's just constantly
Ball of energy.
Yeah.
It was funny too because when he first walked in, he was a little quiet and kind of like not shy, but just like quiet.
He was sizing us up.
Yeah, he was feeling it out, and then we got upstairs and we all started talking and realized, well, we're just all kind of the same, and he just started going in, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that he fought Nate Diaz at the high school is pretty cool. I had no idea.
Dude, the fact that Nate and Nick Diaz both were at the high school at some point to fight is kind of ridiculous.
Or the fact that he fought both of the brothers.
Yeah.
He beat both
multiple times.
Yeah. And I mean, we honestly didn't talk about the Herb Dean stuff very much.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not a big UFC fan.
Yeah.
Like my roommate is, like Willie is. And so I watch it because of that. I don't watch it myself, but I know enough to know that like
who Herb Dean is.
Herb is the guy.
Yeah. He's been around forever.
Yeah. And insanely cool.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to kind of cut in and give you guys context because we were just flowing in the conversation. But Herb Dean is a long-time MMA referee, I'll just say, because he hasn't only been with the UFC, but he is most famous for his role as a referee in the UFC.
He's pretty much as famous as you can get in the fighting world without being a fighter.
Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah. Badass.
It's crazy that he fought in a bowling lot parking lot too.
It's pretty crazy.
Bowling lot parking.
Dude, and the fact
band name.
It's like how many underground fights that he's been in and just
trying to make it.
Grinding.
Dude, and it's just so cool to see how much drive he still has. Because a lot of guys his age, the drive will kind of fade away. They get a little more comfortable, but he is just ticking. and just going.
And that's what he said about looking to my left, looking to my right, and those guys are just dropping out, and it's like he's still going.
Yeah, he's going strong.
Yeah. And he's pushing everyone else to keep going. Like I reached out to Julie Mingstein before this to ask her about it, and she sent me like 3 paragraphs about like, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this if it wasn't for him pushing me and showing me what we actually could do.
He clearly is selfless in the way that he wants to push others to pursue what they want to do.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, such an admirable quality.
Yeah. And I mean, we had a little miscommunication about the belts, the dropping of the belts and whatnot. From what I hear, I was totally convinced that you go from being a black belt in karate to like, if you want to take on another form of martial arts, you have to drop that black belt to take it on. But these guys tell me that's not what it is. It's
pretty sure
keep your black belt in karate. You just start in another martial arts.
I don't
which makes sense. Yeah. That's why I was asking so many questions, because I thought it was the other way around.
I just don't think you're ever going to go back to karate.
Yeah.
I think the black belt became null and void because he probably was never going to put it back on.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
Raul,
good
thank
stuff.
you again. Seriously, go check out his Instagram. I think it's Raul Castillo MMA.
Yep.
I could be wrong, but just look him up. Go check it out. He has a lot of really good content on there. And if you're just looking to dip your feet into the MMA world, just go by. He'll talk you through anything and let you get in as deep as you want to go.
And again, like his jam is not purely for fighting. Like he has weights in there. Like you can go to the gym and you could spend the whole time just working out.
Or doing recovery. Yeah. He's got the Norman Tech boots. He's got the saunas.
Yep.
It's an all-in-one. It's a 5,000 square foot building full of everything that.
But he will convince you. You go to work out, he's going to keep pushing you to try something mixed martial arts.
And if you want to challenge him, I dare you.
I don't. You guys heard the Santa Barbara story.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. See you guys.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, we're brought to you by BikeWorks HMB, your one-stop shop for bike service, sales, and rentals in Half Moon Bay, California. Whether you're on the mountain, road, or low on battery, BikeWorks HMB has your back. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support this podcast, please feel free to reach out to us at betweenshiftspod@gmail.com. The link will be in the description. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. GT signing off.